Welcome to the LA Story Podcast with Stevie Wilson.
Hey people, this is Stevie for the LA Story, and we're still here on the set of
Edge of Salvation.
Okay, Edge of Salvation, thank you. And we're talking to Luciano Saber, who is the director of this wonderful production. And it's really interesting what you've got going on here today.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us a thumbnail of how you came about doing this?
Well, I honestly, I started writing a horror script initially, and I had a lot of spiritual elements in it, and also elements of what's happening in our society today with the economy. And the script just kind of took a different turn on its own, and it became something more about the economic situation of our society today.
Oh, yeah.
Not only in the States, but everywhere. I mean, we're talking about Europe and the US as well. And a little bit of a spiritual theme as well. And we're following a family that loses their house, a beautiful house in Malibu, oceanfront property, and they're essentially forced to leave that house and move into inner city Los Angeles, move into an area of North Hollywood. So once they get into that area, they're encountering a lot of problems in adjusting, to the area and the neighborhood. Now, there are a lot of twists and turns, and there's a reason why they're moving to this house that I'm not going to tell you right now because I want you to go out and see it. But there are many twists and turns, and there's a murder involved, and the husband, the father of this family, is involved in a lot of shady things, and that's how we ended up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds really interesting. So you're working with Charlene Tilton and
Jeremy London.
Jeremy London and Jonathan Lipnicki,
Yes.
and an amazing cast of people to work with. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm very fortunate. Look, on a budget of this size, which compared to the Hollywood standards, is not a big budget. I'm very, very fortunate to have this type of star power on this film. As we all know, Charlene has been a long time veteran of the screen, and also Jeremy London.
oh yeah.
And then Jonathan Lipnicki, the adorable little boy, and Jerry Maguire's all grown up.
Yeah, really.
So I cast him to play the neighborhood thug. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be brilliant. I mean, he came into my office, we talked about the role, and he did a couple of lines, and I was like, are you serious? You're perfect for this role, So I'm trying to go with the script. I'm trying to go against the grain, against the stereotype, and Jonathan fits right in.
That's excellent. And the fact that you actually picked up the whole thread of the economy to weave it into the story is really pretty potent.
It is, yeah. I mean, we're all going through hardship in this country and all over the world, essentially. So I thought it was important to talk about it. I thought it was important at least to give a little glimpse of what can happen to somebody, even to a powerful family that lives, in a place such as Malibu in a $10 million home.
And the thing is that some people would think that wouldn't happen, except it does happen.
It does happen all the time. And as a matter of fact, the house where we shot, there were two houses next to it with for sale signs, in front of the houses. So it does happen all the time. And it's unfortunate, but we have to acknowledge it. We have to try to do something about it. I mean, I don't know if our politicians are, I don't want to get into politics, but we as a society, we all have to pitch in and try to fix it. I'm not sure what that solution is, though.
No.
Yeah, but essentially what I'd like to say with this film is that we're all one paycheck away from being homeless.
And that's so true.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that is extremely true. And it doesn't mean just in the Midwest or the South. It's globally. It's here in California, particularly since we have such a high rate of unemployment.
Right.
Which is kind of annoying. Not more than annoying. It's just staggering.
It's staggering. Yeah.
For so many people.
Yes.
And some of the government statistics that when this was when we filmed this, we had just read about the 40% loss of wealth by most of the country.
Right.
And then there's the 1% that didn't lose anything.
Right, exactly. But most of us are in that type of situation, and myself included. um, but look, hopefully things will change. And again, going back to this project, I'm trying to say that although we are in this type of situation, there is hope.
Yes.
There is hope, and we have to adapt and overcome, just like the Marines. So we have to assume and embody that mentality of adapting and overcoming, and at the same time trying to fix whatever's wrong with the economy.
How long do you think it will be before we get a chance to see this in a finished product?
Hopefully soon. I'd like to have it done by September with editing and everything.
Really? Wow, you're fast.
Yeah, and I'm going to do the editing myself as well. So that's going to be fun. I mean, that's going to be really a joy to look. I looked at some of the footage last night, and I watched it on a big screen, and it's just phenomenal. I mean, the camera, we're using the Red Epic, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful picture.
Love it.
I've never worked with this format before. I shot on 35 and I shot on Super 16, the
Right.
film stock, and I was a little bit concerned about digital, but it's phenomenal. I love it.
Digital gives it a different kind of dimension to things.
It does. It just and it's fitting for this type of film because I didn't mention that this family is being followed by a reality crew, a television
Right.
crew, that is being followed from Malibu to North Hollywood. So documenting this. So the whole point of the movie is that it's got to look real, like it's a video of
a documentary.
A documentary, exactly. Right.
Super.
So
Awesome.
hopefully people will enjoy this.
We'll keep you abreast of what's going on with Luciano Saber and when this movie will be out. And we'd like to thank him for his time today. And you'll find some links and whatever else I can find on this that I can plug in, I will. I'll see if I can snap some photos. And people, we'd like to thank Luciano. Thank you so much for your time
Oh,
today.
my
Really,
pleasure.
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
This is Stevie for the LA Story. See you soon.
Thanks for joining Stevie Wilson on LA Story. Feel free to check out other podcasts and videos. Bookmark it now. www.la-story.com.